So good day, ma'am. My name is Bete, and for this chapter is chapter 14, all about insurance law. So for our learning objectives, enumerate items that can be insured by tourism establishment. Identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance. Explain the different kinds of insurance, and lastly, identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance. For our topic outline, definition and concept, insurable interest in group insurance, insurable interest in property, beneficiaries, fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance, fire insurance, compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance, and war risk insurance. So first is definition and concept. For the law, Section 2, a contract of insurance is an agreement whereby one undertakes for consideration to identify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown contingent event. So the essential elements of an insurance contract are A. Insurable interest, B. Existence of risk, C. Assumption of such risk by the insurer, D. Is said assumption being part of a general scheme to distribute actual losses among those bearing similar risks, and E. Payment of premium. We also have here the characteristics of an insurance contract are aleatory. It involves risk and depends on uncertain events like accidents or death. Contract of indemnity. In property insurance, it ensures compensation for loss or damage. We have here the onerous. It requires payment of a premium as a valuable consideration. Bilateral, both insurer and insured have obligations to fulfill. And lastly, the formal, it must follow a specific form, including the issuance of a policy and payment of the premium. We also have here the parties in an insurance contract. So we have here the insurer, the authorized entity, either person, partnership, or corporation that provides insurance coverage. We also have here the insured. So the person with an insurable interest who owns or purchases the policy. Lastly is the beneficiary, the individual named in the policy to receive the insurance proceeds when the insured event occurs. So insurance contracts also have the following: life insurance covers human lives and related risk. Fire insurance covers losses from fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, earthquake, and similar risk. So marine insurance provides compensation for loss or damage to interest exposed to marine risks during a voyage or specific period. Also have here the personal accident insurance offers financial compensation for death or injury caused by accidental, violent, and external events. So our next topic is insurable interest. Section 10, every person has an insurable interest in the life and health of any person on whom he depends wholly or in part for education or support, or in whom he has pecuniary interest. Another is of any person under a legal obligation to him for the payment of money, or respecting property or services of which death or illness might delay or prevent the performance. For Section 13, every interest in property, whether real or personal, or any relation thereto, or liability in respect thereof, of such nature that a contemplated peril might directly indemnify the insured, as an insurable interest. Section 14, an insurable interest in property may consist in A. An existing interest, B. Inchoate interest founded on an existing interest, and C. An expectancy coupled with an existing interest that out of which the expectancy. For the Section 15, a carrier or depository of any kind has an insurable interest in a thing held by him as such to the extent of his liability but not to exceed the value thereof. Next is the insurable interest in group insurance. So group insurance covers multiple people, usually employees, under one policy. Employers offer it to protect employees and their families at a low cost and to retain staff. To qualify, employees must be actively working and meet certain employment conditions. If they leave the job, they can convert the policy to an individual plan, except for term insurance within a month. Next is insurable interest in property. So in property insurance, insurable interest must exist both at the start of the policy and when a loss happens. In marine insurance, A ship owner always has insurable interest even if the ship is chartered, though coverage only applies to losses not covered by the charterer. The insured's interest is measured by the potential financial loss, so policies that pay more than the actual loss are considered illegal. We also have here the beneficiaries. So Section 18, no contract or policy of insurance on property shall be enforceable except for the benefit of some person having an insurable interest in the property insured. Section 19, an interest in property insured must exist when the insurance takes effect and when the loss occurs but need not exist in the meantime. An interest in the life or health of a person insured must exist when the insurance takes effect but not need exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. We have here the fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance. Section 99, marine insurance. So this covers loss or damage to property involved in navigation or transport, such as vessels, cargo, vehicles, money, securities, and other related items, including during storage, packing, or delays. Second is people or property linked to marine or inland transit, including liabilities from construction, repair, or use, excluding life insurance and auto injury coverage. Third is valuables like jewels, precious metals, and stones, whether in transit or not. Fourth is transport structures such as docks, piers, marine railways, and other navigation aids, excluding buildings and stored supplies. So also includes marine protection and indemnity insurance, which covers liability for loss, damage, injury, or death related to the use and operation of vessels. We have here the fire insurance, Section 167. As used in this code, the term fire insurance shall include insurance against loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied risks when such risks are covered, extension of fire insurance policies or under separate policies. Also have here the compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance. Section 373 defines, first is the motor vehicle as defined by the Land Transportation and Traffic Code. Also have here the passenger, a fare-paying individual or one authorized to ride for free. Third party, anyone not a passenger or close family or employee of the vehicle owner or operator. Also have here the Land Transportation Operator, owner of vehicles used to transport passengers for pay. Lastly is the insurance policy, a contract covering liabilities for death or injuries to passengers or third parties due to motor vehicle accidents. Section 374, it is illegal to operate a vehicle on public roads without an insurance policy, surely bond or cash guarantee that covers liabilities for death, injury, or property damage to passengers or third parties. Section 377, before registering or renewing a motor vehicle, owners or operators must secure insurance, a surely bond, or deposit cash to meet the liability limits stated in Section 374. Lastly is the war risk insurance. So this covers damages from acts of war, hijacking, and similar dangers. It excludes liability for weapons and mass destruction or WMD, such as radioactive contamination, EMP devices, and chemical or biological weapons, with limited third-party coverage up to $3 million. So, however, full policy limits still apply for passenger liability. And that ends for Chapter 14. Thank you.